time, I'd like to notify the public that we are in compliance with Rhode Island General Law 42-46-4 and 5, that there were no votes taken in executive session. I'd like to entertain a motion regarding the session minutes at this time. Motion by Mr. Connell, is there a second? Second, Mrs. Naragoli. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Is there any action related to potential litigation? None at this time. Action related to collective bargaining and STA.
Madam Chair, I recommend that school committee approve a memorandum of agreement for exception to the contract to be signed by the school committee chair and then the STA president.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion? So moved, Mrs. Naragoli. Is there a second? Second, Mr. Connell. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Action related to personnel and administrative contracts and agreement regarding action at this time. I'd like to introduce a motion for the approval of the minutes for February 11th, 24th, March 11th. So moved, Mrs. Naragoli. Second. Second, Mr. Connell. Any discussion regarding the minutes?
Yes, but there was one that take one out.
Okay. So, I think with the exception of February 11th.
I think you're right, that's right.
Okay. And we got that, Mrs. Dupree? February 11th. Any further discussion? Hearing none, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Any legal issues pending?
At this time?
Payment of invoices? I guess I can take that one. Right? I'd like to make a motion to accept the disbursement report for the month of February 2014 in the amount of $2,104,115.14 as submitted.
Madam Chair, I didn't have a chance to review that. Is there anything to talk about?
Anything to stop in this disbursement report for tuition fee? I didn't see anything in this particular month's report for tuition fee to stop. Is there a second on motion? Second, Mrs. Naragoli. Any further discussion? Hearing none, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Money received, the cash, I make a motion to accept the cash receipt report for the month of February 2014 in the amount of $2,499,151.12 as submitted. Second, Mrs. Naragoli. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to move items numbers 1 and 2 under new business to meet the people of bid award student transportation. We have a motion. Motion, Mrs. Naragoli, to make the motion to move items numbers 1 and 2 under new business. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, Mr. Lindbergh, do you want to,
Yes, can I jump in with the school bus transportation bid recommendation?
that's number 2, that's fine.
Thank you. So I'd like to introduce, well, you want me to make the motion first, or should I do an introduction? I'll do an introduction. I'll make a motion. I recommend the award of bid for student transportation to GATCO Incorporated for the period of July 1st, 2014 through June 30th, 2017. And with that, also recommending that the school committee approve waiving the performance bond.
Can you say the second half of that again?
sorry, please.
Say the second, Counselor.
Also recommending that the school committee waive the requirement of the performance bond. We've done a lot of research on that, and it's apparently not required throughout the profession of school bus contracts. So
Okay.
we put it in there just in case.
For the superintendent's recommendation, is there a motion?
I'll move to accept the superintendent's motion as the DACO.
Okay. Mr. Connell has made a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation, and seconded by Mrs. Nardoli. Is there any discussion?
Just one question, Mr. Superintendent. So again, the performance bond is typically not used, is that what you're saying?
It isn't. We had an old habit of putting it in, and upon discussion, not only with DATCO, but with the bidders, it was somewhat unusual. It's not been required of school bus transportation providers. You might do it with a new company, or I guess, but that's the feedback we got from discussing it with other people. So.
But again, performance bond, that doesn't affect insurance issues?
No.
No.
No, the cost gets passed on to you, so I feel like it's, after our research, it's not a cost that we should absorb.
Thank you.
Any questions on the backup? I think I provided you.
I think I had a little trouble finding it because it was in last week's, but it's okay.
You have a pretty extensive analysis that
Right.
shows that they clearly were the low bidder. And just wanted to highlight, if I may, Madam Chair, that this is a bid on buses that will be 3 years old when newer. Recommending the contract approval, but we'll continue to hire our monitors. There's a cost differential there, the savings is around $94,000 plus.
On the bus monitors, we are not retaining the ones we currently have.
It's not an issue of maintaining them, it's an issue of whether we wanted to defer to DATCO to take up the full responsibility of
So a
hiring.
person is currently a bus monitor and they wanted to continue to work with the department, they now have to apply through.
No, we're going to continue to employ the bus monitors. If we got out of that business and it went to DATCO, the cost would be, the analysis is in there, I think it's fairly substantial.
Okay. Any further questions regarding superintendent's recommendation? Mr. Mayor, did you want to add to the conversation, or are you all settled there?
I'm settled, but I'll be happy to answer any questions. I did do an evaluation of that by calling 4 other like communities to North Smithfield, 3 in Connecticut, and Smithfield, and they all spoke extremely highly of the company. I'm satisfied in my mind that we'll have very good service, and it will be improved service for the community.
Because you want to meet the representatives before or after you vote.
Right after.
Okay,
Okay.
very good.
Okay. Hearing no further discussion? Okay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, right after the vote. Come on up, we'll shake hands. Welcome you aboard. Thank you.
Bill, representatives from DATCO,
See if you remember
Jane will
people's names.
surely want to, or Bill, or Jane, go right ahead.
It's like the
Say
receiving
whatever you
line.
like to say.
I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Shirley Brown from the Collective Operations for JASCO. I have been around 14 years and been doing this for 40 years.
Oh, very nice to meet you.
I'm Jay Presley.
Hi, Bill.
I am the branch manager there.
Failed, and I think we have this contact. So that's nice to meet you. Okay,
State Championship on February 8th. Mrs. O'Brien requested the students attend the meeting to speak on behalf of this amazing program. Turn it over to Mrs. O'Brien.
Mrs. O'Brien, I couldn't see you blended in there with the nine players.
I'll sit down. Just anywhere you want. Anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on your company. No podium tonight.
So we selected two students to come before you to speak about the program and some of the fundraising activities that we have been doing in preparation for our trip on April 4th. I'd like those two students to come up.
Yeah, I know there's no podium, so it's rather awkward.
We can move on if you'd like.
Madam Chair, just something about this.
I got it, guys. Stay there. Really?
Yeah.
Relax, we got a long day.
You get them the microphone? Oh, you're getting them the podium. I'll put it up, track and field.
Look at you guys. Two young guys can do it.
Hi, can you please introduce yourself? I'm Kristen Lafferty, 200 Drive, and I'm speaking on behalf of the 2013-2014 People class. Throughout the school year leading up to our state competition, we would absorb lots of knowledge that would later help us out when working on our units. My Unit 6 question, for example, focused on democracy and citizenship. So we learned about John Locke and the roles of a citizen. At States, we ended up having to answer questions on the role of a citizenship. This was one of our leading intros to one of our papers. Quote, "The death of democracy is not likely to be an assassination from handbook. It will be slow extinction from apathy, indifference, and undernourishment," end quote. These words by Robert M. Hutchins illustrate the dangers of a representative democracy if people are not involved. In 2012, there was only a 57% voter turnout. That means 80 million eligible voters did not vote. Based on the ideals of classical republicanism, these numbers are disturbing, as one of the ideals is that it is the duty of citizens to partake in political activities. A natural rights philosopher would view it differently, as the natural rights philosophy focuses more on individual rights as opposed to civic virtue or political obligations. Democracy is, in essence, a combination of the two. If citizens lose sight of these ideals, then democracy is threatened. This program is an effective program and is beneficial to the students and the society around them. It has been proven that students that go through this program are more likely to be involved in their government and more will take part in voting. We the People program makes informed and active citizens who will be acknowledged on government. As Margaret Mead stated, quote, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you.
My name is Kyle Peterson of 63 Mountain Street. On February 8th, 2014, North Smithfield, for the 8th time in a row, won its We the People program, the state of Rhode Island. This gave us the chance to compete at a national invitational to Washington. Not only will we be competing, but we will also be seeing the book that we've been studying since September. This is a great chance for all the students to show their knowledge that we've learned, again, since September. And let me tell you, this is one of the greatest programs that there is at Smithfield High School. We will be holding multiple fundraisers this Saturday. In fact, we are going to Bridgedos, and that's a good chance to buy raffle tickets, which support the We the People program, and it's a good chance to buy prizes and such. And we would also like to thank the school committee for letting us speak, and thank you for your time. But also, we would like to invite them to be judges at our next dress rehearsal. So if you would consider that, that would be very appreciated by the students like myself. This is Brian. So thank you. Yeah.
I would like to thank you for amount of support by individuals within the school, within the school community, and I think that's really wonderful. Each year we come here not only to highlight the successes, but also to ask for support for the funding of the program. When we do win the state competition, it comes along with a tremendous price tag. So even though the students have truly earned the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. to represent Rhode Island, they also have to help defray some of the costs. And in the past, we've been able to get some money from the school committee, and it would be wonderful if we were able to get some funding again this year. I have tried to get it placed into the budget, so that way we wouldn't have to come every year asking for money. I know that's a really tall order, but I'm hoping that this year we will be able to get some support. And like Kyle had highlighted, we certainly have done our very best washing cars, participating in a lot of fundraisers ever since we won about 6 weeks ago, and we actually started the fundraise a lot earlier this year. So that way every student would be able to go and it wouldn't really be a financial burden on any individual family. So if you have any questions for myself, I would certainly be more than willing to answer them. Mr. Mezzanotti's been on the trip before. It's a phenomenal program. The kids perform amazingly well. So thank you for your time, and hopefully you'll be able to come on both sides.
Just a little, I know you've been doing this for a long time, and in the past, 8 years ago when we started, there was funding from the state of Rhode Island, and that's unfortunately been cut. And how many years has it been cut now? 2 or 3?
I would say even more than that. I would say probably for 4 years now, the funding has been greatly diminished. And it's great that the program can still survive, because it's hard not only for Rhode Islanders, but for any school that competes throughout the country to be able to raise the necessary funds in order to be able to go to Washington, D.C.
It's definitely part of citizenship and community, isn't it?
And that's a nice aspect of it, that they have to go out and actually take part in attending meetings and going out into the community to speak about what they've accomplished.
Just to make, I've been a judge for 8 years at least in this district, and as you know, I work in West Warwick, where you guys compete, and you're the youngest students in the state of Rhode Island to compete. Is the youngest national to compete as well?
Yes.
So it's not typical for ninth graders. So we are always very, very proud of our Lead the People program as a review. And being a judge is one of the few highlights of being a school committee member. We don't have a whole lot of great things that we get to do, but that is one of the great things. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be a judge this year because of work commitment, but maybe other school committee members may have the available time. We look forward to that.
And I had highlighted it when we returned last year, but last year we came in 25th out of 57 schools, which maybe sounds like we're in the top half, but you're not in the top 10. But it really is extraordinary when you're competing against juniors and seniors, and these students speak about the colleges that they're going to next year, and they're speaking about how they're freshmen in high school and that they're able to beat half of the schools that go, and you can only go if you win the state competition. So I mean, they're not just really strong in our small state of Rhode Island, they do really well when they represent us all over the PC.
Did you have rapid tickets for Saturday?
You can measure.
I have rapid tickets. All right. Any questions or comments or concerns? All right. I know that they're ready to leave, so I just quickly want to give them some money. Who wants to tell me your rapid ticket?
Any questions?
It's